Hey y'all, what is up everybody? What is up YouTube? Spark Mark here, and I'm back to do a TV show review of the show Doug. Now, anybody remember this show, Doug? Very cool show, very good scores, characters, dialogues and stuff. You know, some of the episodes I do have huge of, big fan of ever since I was a youngster. And it's been years. I've seen bits and pieces from time to time and always remember the characters, including the dog Pork Chop. Very, very cool and stuff. And of course, what focuses on early adolescent life of our characters of Douglas Doug Funnie, who experience common predicaments while attending school in his new hometown, where he moves to Bluffington. Doug narrates each story in his journal, and the show incorporates many imagination sequences. And of course, the series addressed numerous topics, including trying to fit in, platonic and romantic relationships, self-esteem, bullying, and rumors. Many episodes centers on Doug's attempt to impress a classmate and crush, the character of Patty Mayonnaise. So yeah, and of course the show was created by Jim Jenkins, if I said his name right, a well-known animator, writer, television producer, director, cartoonist, author, and actor. And of course, and yes, look at that carefully. That's his signature, by the way. But he retired from the industry in 2021. Wow. So yeah. So this guy has done well in doing pizza cartoons. One of them is Doug, 101 Dalmatians, PB&J, Otter, and a whole slew of things, including a feature film, Doug's first movie, but that's going to be for another time. We're not going to talk about that now. And of course, living in Brunswick, Georgia, he ran a workshop. And you can read that carefully. But it's not even a powerful character, but it's a sort of a strong character or something. But anyways, the show has some well-known voice actresses and actors who went on to do successfulness on television. And and of course, if you heard me talking about Rugrats before, Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy are the whatchamacallit original 3 Nicktoons, of course, that were premiered on cable network and Nickelodeon. So it's the top 3. But Ren and Stimpy, if you saw Joe Blow's video of Gone But Not Forgotten of Ren and Stimpy, I'll leave you the link in the description box, because I heard there were some shenanigans going on in that show. So yeah. And then it became a very well-known hit show. And where else? Originally aired from August 11, 1991, and ended on January 2nd, 1994. So yeah, from the airings, it did continue on ABC Network from September of 1996, ended in the summer of 1999. So yeah, it had very good runs, but the original animated services was called Hanho Studios. Let's take a look at that company. It's in Japan. Oh, no, wait. Seoul, South Korea, actually. Founded by Stephen Han in 1984. Wow. So yeah, seasons 1 through 4 was Hanho Studio. Seasons 5 through 7 were Plus One Animation. But also, 5 through 6, Disney's Doug, which only from seasons 5 through 7, and they did reruns after that. So yeah, it's garnered as one of the coolest shows ever made. But then, of course, the rights were picked up to Disney. But we're not going to talk about the Disney, we're talking about the Nickelodeon one. So yeah, if you take a look here very carefully, and then here we have our voice actors. So the voice of Doug Funnie was voiced by Billy West, and then we have the character of Pork Chop, the dog, voiced by Fred Newman. And what else? Fred Newman voiced also Doug's new friend, blue-skinned friend by the name of Mosquito Valentine, but everyone calls him Skeeter or Skeet. Constance Schulman voices Patty Mayonnaise, the blonde girl. And, of course, Billy West voices in the regular Nickelodeon series as the role of Roger M. Klutz, who is he's a nemesis to Doug. He's green skin, crazy looking hairdo, wearing a leather jacket always, and has a pet cat. But in the Disney series, the character was voiced by Chris Phillips. So yeah. And of course, Alice Playton voices the role of Bebe Bluffs, who is the heiress to the Bluff family fortune, and the daughter of the richest man in town, and a friend to Mayor White of Bluffington. And of course, Judy Anastasia Funny, Doug's sister, who is into the dramatic arts and poems and stuff, and plays, was voiced by Becca Leach, if I said the name right, Becca Leach. Then we have the role of Chalky Stewart, a athletic young guy, and yes, very athletic dude, very excellent student, voiced by Doug Prace. And the role of the voice of Connie, also voiced by Becca Leach, who was, of course, friends to Patty and Bebe. And the voice of the nerdy twins, Alan and Moose Leach, were voiced by Eddie Kobick, if I said the name right. Bud Dink, voiced by Fred Newman. So he voiced nearly 3 or 4 characters. Wow. And his wife's voice was voiced by Doris Delbeck, the role of Tippy Dink. And of course, the creator, Jim Jenkins, based the series of his hometown, Richmond, Virginia, as the fictional town of Bluffington. So yeah. So very good script. You can pause these very carefully if you like. And this is, of course, Disney's Doug, but again, we're not going to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about that. So the theme is coming of age. Yes, according to the creator, Jim Jenkins. And speaking of what I might have said in the previous video about physical media, yeah. I mean, I got Doug's first movie on DVD, but it needs to get a Blu-ray release as well. And also, among other things, they gotta release this series on Blu-ray. Give it a beautiful, beautiful scan from the camera negatives. Give it a niceness and some special features behind the scenes and stuff, including interview with the creator of the series. So yeah, the segments and episodes are great. 6 music videos. If you add 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, wow. And this was only about 2 Paramount version only. One contains the segment, which was on August 30th of 94, but that's Doug's Christmas Story. Okay, why did they have to release this in 94 in August? Really? You could have released this in December of 94, Doug's Christmas Story. That's it. But Christmas in the summer? It's a bit crazy. And as a youngster growing up, I did remember watching this series back when I was young, and then, of course, as well as it was on Nicktoons, I recall. I've seen bits and pieces in 07, but not much of it. The Disney version, well, was alright for the time being. But again, I'm not getting into that. And also for the receptions and everything, people love the series. And it did win some awards for the ASIFA East Animation Best Direction. Won the award in 1991. Nominated in 1992, but in 93 it did win for the Ollie Awards, and it was nominated for Young Artist Awards to the Emmy Awards, Outstanding Animated Program, Children's Program, Outstanding New Animation, Parents' Choice won twice, Cable Ace Awards was nominated. So yeah, 7 wins of the awards. Nine nominations. So yeah. And there, in the late 90s, in March of 1999, we did get a musical stage show of Doug's Live. Disney's Hollywood Studios, back then was MGM Studios, Disney's MGM, at the Walt Disney World Resort, ran until December 12th of 2001. Then we got the movie. And then they did video games for Game Boy Color, released in 2000, called Doug's Big Game. Then there was comic books, especially, of course, Disney's Adventures from Volume 7, Number 5, in February of 1997, to Volume 12, Number 1, in February of 2002. To date, one-page comic, Neckrif Grief, the last official material that features Doug in a major capacity. So yeah, very, very well thought out. And let's take a look quickly at our characters. So yeah, here we have our characters, and I'll leave you the link in the description box down below for the introduction of the show, the opening, just the Nickelodeon one. So here we have our character Doug, and of course you have our other characters like the character of Roger Klutz, Skeeter Valentine, Patty Mayonnaise, that's Pork Chop. Oh, that's Skeeter, if I already said his name, and his character is very cool. Every time when he says hi, and then he would say his famous beeping sound, "Hey, dog." I just love that sound. Man, here we have our characters as well, other characters, but this is part of Disney, but I know some of these characters. Okay, these are Roger's pals, and that's BB Bluffs, and that's Connie, and that's his sister Judith, who's of course in the drama arts, like I said before. And yeah, and great characters. Places at Bluffington was amazing. And plus, let me know in the comments section, what do you remember about the show? What was your favorite episode? What is your favorite character? Maybe dialogue lines and stuff. And tell me what was your favorite segment, at least, and what was it, sequences of the show, and also tell me any certain episode that you like growing up. Let me know in the comments. And if this was an actual Blu-ray release, I would buy it, but it looks kind of off to me. I'm not gonna plan on buying that. I don't know if this is even real, because if the studio, maybe Shout Factory, could release it, can get the rights from Nickelodeon or Disney, please release this series on Blu-ray with some subtitles and special features, and give it a beautiful, beautiful scan. And yeah, certain episodes did creep me out. Like, one of them was about a dinosaur shadow that turns, like, one moment it's a normal human being, then reveals it to be a monster dinosaur-esque. So yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, let's take a look at our characters very quickly. And if anybody ever heard of this crazy band named The Beats, it is a popular band in Bluffington. That's them. And they got some crazy songs. Killer Tofu, I remember that song. Was one of those musics. One of the other ones, I don't know if it's here, but what was it? Banging on the Trash Can was one of those musics, and they did appear in a few episodes. Pause that very carefully, y'all. And it's kind of like homaging to the Beatles in a way. Then we have Mr. Funny, Doug's father. Well, first off, we're going to look at his mother. I hate these pop-outs. Next to her, that's her husband, Doug's father. That was Thedia Funny, and this is Phil Funny, Doug's father. And of course, meet the older sister, Judith. Or Judy. And we have our characters. Pork chop. And then we have the bully, Roger. And that's Chulky Studebaker, if I said the name right. Oh, crazy Wi-Fi connections. And then BB Bluffs. The twins. Of course, this is one of the teachers we see in the series. And then another character, That was Cecilia Newberry, and can't even tell for this character. I don't even remember that name of the writer, Ted Eck. And one more character we're going to be seeing is the character of Mr. Bones, who happens to be the assistant principal of Bluffington Middle School, secondary antagonist, and very, of course, a very very serious authority figure to the characters. Yeah, tell me what you think of those characters. So sorry about that. So yeah. So before signing off, like I said, tell me what do you guys remember? What do you remember about the show? What is your favorite episode, character, and certain aspects of what you did like or didn't like? So yeah, I'm praying that this series, along with Rugrats and any of the shows that I reviewed on this channel, please let it get the decent Blu-ray release it deserves. I don't quite like the packagings that they've done. It feels kind of off to me. So yeah, before signing off, I gotta give first off, if you like content like this or any other content, please click the bell on the subscribe button to be notified of all new uploads. Like the videos, always appreciate thumbs ups, comments down below. That's right. And plus, I'm in the YouTube community. I often post what time I post videos at a certain time, whether it be the afternoon hours or the early evening hours. I never even hardly post often, maybe morning. I used to post it on early morning, but not so much anymore. So yeah, and not even the late evening hours. No. So yeah, keep an eye on the YouTube community. At a certain time, I post things. So yeah, and plus, this is a good show. Tell me what you all think. And plus, consider a shouts to the physical media collectors, the toy collectors, and all you collectors out there. Shouts to you all. So y'all, this is Sparky Marky Mark signing off. Y'all take care. God bless you, hear you, and see you on the next vid. Enjoy Wednesday, y'all, and later.